Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston on this Memorial Day Sunday. I am your host, KG Smooth, welcoming some of my favorite ladies in the city. She is the director of S.A.F.E Diversity Communities, formerly known as Barbara Jordan Endeavors, the lovely Miss Thelma Scott. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me this morning. It's a wonderful Sunday morning.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And the always bright and vivacious Jan Taylor. Hey, Jan, how are you?
Hi there, KG. Of course, I love being here. Just like being on this platform with you, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, and you all brought a special guest, someone from S.A.F Diversity Communities.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself, Charmaine?
Hi, my name is Charmaine James.
Yeah.
And I volunteer with Mrs. Scott and Miss Jan, and it is amazing to be a part of S.A.F Diversities and Revitalized Communities.
Yeah, it is. So, Miss Thelma Scott,
Yes.
you changed the name, S.A.F Diversity Communities, and S.A.F is an acronym.
Yes.
So what does that acronym stand for?
SAFE stands for Student and Family Empowerment.
Okay.
So the diversity part of it, we want to empower our families to understand what diversity and inclusion is and equality. They have to understand when they're being discriminated against. So we are starting this campaign is to educate all our low to moderate income families about diversity and inclusion.
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that you're continuing to do, even though you're no longer under that Barbara Jordan umbrella, is your unique Blue Carpet Scholarship Awards program that is actually happening on Saturday, June the 2nd. I had the pleasure of hosting that along with Kim Roxy some years ago.
No, you just didn't host that. You made history. You was the MC for the first one.
The
Yes.
first one.
Yeah,
you were.
It was
History.
the first one, yeah. So that was great. For people may not be familiar with the unique Blue Carpet Scholarships Award. So tell them what it's about and how we lead up to Saturday,
event.
June 2nd.
This is our fourth annual Unique Blue Scholarship Gala, and what we're doing, our focus is this year is rebuilding lives after Hurricane Harvey, because we're going to be honoring 12 students, but all of those 12 students was affected by Hurricane Harvey. One of my students been in and out of the hospital because they're living in the house with mold because they don't have anywhere else to go, and one of the ladies was very ill, living in the house with mold. So these people are in need of help. So we decided this year, the board and I, that we're going to give the kids the $500 scholarship. We're going to give them a cash check to help them out because they're needed.
Nice.
This is a stipend to help them rebuild their lives.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going on with their lives, but there's still people hurting.
Yeah.
Still people in hotels and still people living in the house with mold.
Yeah, we have our slogan here, our mantra for the entire year
Exactly.
is, 97.9 The Box, rebuilding Houston, one family at a time.
Yes, that's what we're
That's
doing,
our
one
moniker.
family at a time. So we're just so honored to do this, and Revitalized Community has come in. They're out on the ground. Jan is out every day. I'm out with her, but not as much as she's out on the ground helping these families. And we got a sponsor to help them to come to the hotel to spend the night there, to have a night away from their house with mold, having a night there, just a celebration, night of celebration that night. And we have a couple of people that's donating food to bring out. So just going to have a wonderful time where they can network with each other, because a lot of these families are families that have kids with autism. So we're just so honored to provide these families this extra stipend that they need. So
Indeed.
please come out and support this event.
On Saturday, June the 2nd. You listen to Access Houston, talking to Thelma Scott, who is the founder and chairman of S.A.F Diversity Communities, and also Jan Taylor, who is here. She is the S.A.F advocate consultant for S.A.F Diversity Communities. What can people look forward to the program this year, Jan?
This year, Miss Scott put it all together, but just to add to that, what we've been doing every first Saturday of the month, we have been having a workshop. And that workshop is more of a resource awareness workshop to bring those different resources in the community, entities that could help these families that are struggling. Because remember, our base are families who harbor children who harbor disabilities. And we try to teach them to be unique about their disabilities. So the important thing is that when they come to the workshops, many of them, especially during the Harvey, they got left out, not intentionally, but mostly because of the fact that they live in already underserved areas that were already hurting before the storm. So when the storm came, they have had kids who are not able to get about and go around. So parents were stuck, so they didn't get all the information. So we're finding Ms. Scott, I, and several of the team members found that workshop, KG, has been, an enormous impact on these families because they missed a lot of stuff. That because of the computers, they didn't have computers before, and then when the storm came, the infrastructure changed things, so they didn't have access to their phones and stuff, so they lost a lot. So we're finding that we're trying to really, they're on the ground, they're still on ground zero. And so what I do with Revitalized Communities is bring them in and just be out there to advocate and make sure that those families that harbor unique abilities with their children get included.
Yes.
And not left out. That's what's important. So this year, that's what's so big about the unique abilities. This unique gala for Blue Carpet is that we'll have a lot of our partners there that have been with us from the beginning, August or September, and we'll be able to honor them, and we'll also be able to show the kids. We have the acts of the show will be our children.
Yes.
This year, we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to make sure that those acts will come from kids in the community.
Right.
Oh.
And that's why what's so important is our little Miss Charmaine is here, and she's a dancer, and she's an amputee. And so to have her as a mentor with these youngsters is really, really important because to one day get hit by a bus and be told that you'll never, first of all, you probably won't make it. You're not going to walk or do anything. And to see this young lady strive above that.
Yeah,
that's what
walking like nothing's wrong.
Thank you.
Just smiling and just
that personality is so
KG,
high.
that's what we do. And Ms. Scott will tell you,
Thank
that's what's
you.
important about our organization is that we get into the heart.
Right.
We make sure that these students understand, build their heart first, then mentally build them up, and you can't stop them. You can't stop them with nothing.
That's
And
right.
the biggest part about the Safe Diversity is that Ms. Scott and the team has taken it to such a higher level, making sure that when these students graduate, those 12, they will be acclimated into the community.
It's our young
Partners,
alumni.
Yes, vocational skills. We pull out what is best in them.
yeah.
If they are harboring speech impediments, then we find out what is inside that child that's awesome. And usually that speech impediment child can draw. Their creativity, it just goes off the chart. And if you have a person that can't really move their bodies or their hands mentally, they're awesome because they can speak, they can sing. So we find what is inside them that's unique and we make them shine.
Yes, and you all are making them shine on this Saturday, June 2nd, the 4th annual Unique Blue Carpet Scholarship Awards Gala happening at the Hyatt Regency North Houston, that's 425 North Sam Houston Parkway in East Houston. You can get all of the information and the tickets on their Eventbrite page, which is
On the website.
The website is www.safediversitycommunities. www.safediversitycommunities.org. And when you go on that page, you just scroll down and you'll be able to purchase your ticket.
Indeed. Ladies, thank you. You know, normally we'll talk longer, but this show is so packed today.
I know, but let me
So I
say
appreciate you
one
all.
thing. If there's anyone that Miss Jan Taylor and I have invited as our special guest, you must go on the website and sign in as RSVP, please. Thank you so much.
And where they do that?
Same one.
Same
On the
one.
website.
Same website.
Okay.
Yes, we have a
If
lot
you're
of
guest,
guests.
Please RSVP so that we can have a great count and make sure that we bring everybody in.
For sure. Well,
KG,
thank you all,
thank you
ladies.
for
Hey,
the
thank you, ladies.
time, man.
Jan
It's so
Taylor,
wonderful
who
Thank
is
you so
the
much.
Safe Advocate Consultant, and the lovely Thelma Scott, the
Yes.
founder and chairman of Safe Diversity Communities. Save the date for Saturday. Thank you, ladies, for having
Appreciate
you on.
Thank
and,
you so
we'll
much.
have
Love you
more
much.
time next time.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for
Thank
Thank
having
you,
us.
Charmaine. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smoon. Got a lively bunch in the studio this morning. She is the executive director and the founder of Fade to Black, the play festival, and also her business, groundbreaking play festival. Is it Shabak Enterprises?
Shabak Enterprise is the nonprofit organization that founded Fades Black.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and vivacious Denise O'Neal.
Hello.
Good morning and welcome.
Well, thank you.
And we also have Mr. Alric Davis.
Hey.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
And we also have Mr. Lionell Hilliard.
Good morning.
So, welcome to the show. Welcome to Access Houston. Denise, please tell people who are not familiar with you and your line of work and your contributions to the arts community, what it is that you do.
Okay, well, I am a playwright and a director. And about 6 or 7 years ago, I was getting more into the theater community and looking for performing arts that supported it and identified the African American experience. We have a couple of theaters here in Houston that do that full time, but I didn't see that so much in the play festivals. And so I decided I'll do some research and see if anyone else in Houston has ever done a play festival, a short play festival, which is what we would do. It would be a 10-minute play festival, which is a craft for playwrights to master. You don't see it very often, but it allows us to spotlight several playwrights as opposed to just one or two for the performances. And I found out that we have never had a play festival for African American playwrights. I just thought that was amazing. I thought it was a disservice to our community. And I talked to my theater friends of all backgrounds, and I said, hey, I have this idea. I think it would be great. It's timely. We need to do it. What do you think? And everybody thought it was amazing. And so we found a theater in the Heights, got a collection of directors and actors from all backgrounds, and we opened up the call for submissions nationally. We got 10 plays, and we did Fade to Black for the first time. And from the moment we did it, it was an amazing success, and it's continued to be a success even in our 6th year.
This is the 6th year.
Yes.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's great that you saw, a need, you saw a void, and you filled that void for Houston. Houston has so much to offer, and I think when it comes to the arts and entertainment world and why films aren't set here or shot here or shows aren't based out of here and all of that. I don't know if it's because we're the energy capital of the world that gets overlooked, that we've got some dope spaces, but I also understand that Houston needs to get on the ball, kind of like Atlanta did. Like if there were places for people to go to, like if there were a sound studios, here in the H, that movie studios would come here and film stuff. I mean, we got a whole dome that you can see out this window right here that they just emptied out. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to that. For people who may not be familiar, just the basic definition: what is a playwright?
A playwright is someone who has a great imagination and has the ability to craft that play into a written format. A good playwright is different. Good playwright understands that you need to develop your product. You need to embrace the concept of rewriting. You need to read a lot, and you need to open yourself up to more than just one culture, so that your writing is rich and developed. You are giving a gift to the world. And so to me, there's a difference. Someone who can write something on a page with characters, that's one person, but a true playwright is someone who has taken the time to master the craft and do what is necessary to, not put out written work until it's time, until you've given your audience enough respect to try to to grow it up before you put it out publicly. So that's the long definition.
The long of the short of it. Yes. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Denise O'Neal, who is the founder of the Fade to Black Play Festival that's happening June 21st through the 23rd at the Match Theater. Two gentlemen who will be participating in the Fade to Black Play Festival is here, Mr. Alric Davis. Alric, tell us about yourself and how you got involved in everything.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from here, Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Went to Howard to major in musical theater and minor in playwriting. And I fancied myself a playwright, but growing up now, just the amount of time it takes to write a play is massive.
I'm sure.
And going to grad school, I'm at UH right now in the arts leadership program.
Nice.
And running a nonprofit, the Bayou Theater Company. It's really hard to write plays now. So I still wanted to be involved in the new works experience. And so I had friends involved in Fade to Black for years. My friend Trey Morgan Lewis is the creative director. So I said, okay, I really want to be involved. Denise saw a play I directed, Miss Evers' Boys, at Pearl Theater, and she was like, okay, so you're finally in Houston. Let's make some shake. Let's make some shake. Let's make it happen. This is my first experience, but I'm surrounded by all these like theatrical titans, and being a young buck in the game, like I'm learning so much from these directors and playwrights and actors who have like 20 years of experience on me. But I'm learning like I got something to bring too, so I'm very happy and I'm learning a lot from the process.
Indeed. What are some of your past works that you don't mind bragging on?
No, I mean, listen, I could do it all day. I directed Eclipsed, which is a play about Liberian sex slaves at Howard University. I've been in Midsummer Night's Dream, doing a little Shakespeare. I'm directing like a version of Marie Antoinette this summer for the company, and basically it's like a reimagining of what we think happened right before she was killed. So a lot of the works I tend to often have strong female characters.
That sounds dope.
Yeah. It's always strong female characters, and it's something that makes you think. And I think that like specifically for people of color, we don't get the chance to think enough. And that sounds really controversial, but I mean that.
We heard Kanye and free thinking.
Well, right,
all
yeah,
that.
free thinking. I mean, he's right in that aspect, not the other ones. But
he's dealing with mental
get
health.
the chance to really go to see a piece of art and allow it to challenge us and explore concepts that we don't normally explore.
Yeah.
So all of the pieces I'm drawn to often do that. And with this play, War Letters, it talks about the bereavement division in the 1944 World War I. And so there are these group of women who are just colored women, so there's Japanese, black, everyone, typing letters to fallen soldiers' families, saying, "Dear blank, sorry, your soldier has died, but he helped make this nation a nation." And so going back to that, you're like, what makes America America? And I love pieces that talk about those kind of things that kind of challenge the establishment. So I'm very happy to work with it. It's really great.
As you said, it sounds amazing. Oh man, I love things that make me think as well. Mr. Lionell A. Hilliard, your resume is pretty extensive, sir. Tell us about yourself and your involvement with Fade to Black.
Well, I'm the new kid on the block, to be quite honest with you. I'm friends with Denise and a few others. And some of my best buddies are Curtis Vaughn, Errol Anthony Wilkes, and Timothy Eric. And they have extensive experience with stage plays and with writing stage plays and things of that nature. I come from the world of television and film. So I'm kind of like the stepchild,
okay,
if you will. And like you said, I do have some things on my resume that are cool. Yeah. But when it comes to this avenue, I know nothing about this world, so I'm kind of like learning as I come along.
Fish out of water. Well, not really, not out of water, but you're definitely in a different ecosystem, if you will.
That's for sure. And the misconception is that you're writing a script, you should be able to write a script for anything. And that's not necessarily true, because some things that are good for television and film don't necessarily translate well to the stage,
right,
and vice versa.
Right.
And so you have to kind of become a little bit more esoteric in each discipline.
So having said that, I'm glad you mentioned that. There was a stage play that was here not too long ago, Houston's own Jacarius Johnson's Set It Off. Of course, we all loved Set It Off with Jada, Queen Latifah, Vivica, Kimberly Elise. And I was skeptical of how they were going to take a featured film, and make it a stage play because, to your point, Lionell, they're two totally different worlds with different parts, and the scripts read differently. There's a difference between a playwright and a screenplay. You know what I mean? And sometimes when I think, I'm like, this screenplay, when they write this screenplay, if they're taking it from a book, how's that? Same with a movie and a play, and vice versa. I mean, with a play. I mean, we've had some plays that have turned in to movies, and so set it off. I was like, what are they going to do? How? But it worked. How Jakarius Johnson and his team, his playwrights, whatever, they made it work. They made it make sense. They had all of the, important scenes in the film, made sure that it was, in the play, but they did that good. And it grabbed you in the beginning. That was it. Like immediately, it grabbed you because LaToya Luckett, who played Vivica Fox's character, her acting is so amazing. Like LaToya grabs you in the beginning, and you're just in for the ride. And I was thoroughly impressed. And so, to your point, coming from television and film, and you all are G's in this, and it's been doing this for a while, to combine, that's a tough thing, but a great education, I guess, for you to learn how to, put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Most definitely. And I'm feeling humbled to be amongst these heroes of mine. But like you said, I'm learning quite a bit, and it's something that I may consider, living in at some point.
Yeah, I can't believe we've talked. Our time is up. Tell us everything that people need to know about Fade to Black, Denise.
Okay, so it is the first time that Houston has had anything like it ever. Historically, it's an amazing thing. It's a multicultural. It's a 3-day event. Normally, once you come to see Fade to Black, you are hooked, and you want to come back every year. The playwrights are flying in from all over the country, and we are going to give you an amazing evening of entertainment. So every play is different, and we take the best of Houston talent and put them on stage, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Right. Thank you so much. Where can people go to get more information?
They can go to www.fadetoblackfest.com, and it will give you information about our previous times, previous years, and then where you can go to purchase tickets and any information that you need about the festival.
It is fadetoblackfest.com. Check it out, man. I'm sorry that the time was up. Just a 12-minute segment here, but I can't wait to have you all back next year for when the festival returns.
Yes, we'll
be
back.
Thank you, Denise O'Neal, Mr. Alric Davis, and Lionell Hilliard. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.